unleashing the human potentials, infinite potential, and sky is the limit. We do not have to wait for the grace which you just heard. The grace is always there. The fact that you and I can see, the fact that we are born, the fact that we can smell the beautiful fragrance of the flower, taste the wonderful taste of cool water, or the taste of fruit, or the delicacies that we are born to enjoy. That we have the power to understand the grace, Divine Mother's blessing, the grace of Jesus and God and Allah and Christ is always there with us. This is why we are born, and you and I can fulfill our visions and dreams. All you and I have to do is just make up our mind. We have been bestowed, the entire living creatures on this universe, on this earth, with the power to fulfill. There are two lines which are drawn by Mother Nature. These two lines are the lines under which all living creatures operate. But you know what? Human beings are the only one which has the bottom line, just to show it to us that do not go down beyond that bottom line and go below our human excellence. Enhance the human excellence. That grace which you're talking about, you are to enhance that grace by realizing it, enjoying it, fulfill every other people's wish by exhuming that grace from within you. Learn it, understand it. But you know the beauty, the upper line does not exist for human beings and human children. You can have, sky is the limit, and as you know, sky has no limit. I'm a fighter pilot. I wanted to always see the blue sky, and I could go through the cloud and the fastest of the fighter plane, supersonics, but I could never go to the sky, because the higher you come, the higher is the limit of the sky. That's exactly the potential. You know what is that? Human beings have got a human physical body with tremendous potential of the hands and the arms and the five senses to receive the world, taste it, feel it, touch it, enjoy it, and share it with everyone. We have been given a powerful mind, a powerful thing called intellect, ego, memory, and feelings. They're all functions of the mind. And we have something else. You can hear me right now. And that's something else, the essence of the grace, which only human beings, human excellence, can realize it, make it our own, and help everybody else by exhuming that grace to give it to people. Not only just by act of kindness or a sharing of your time or physical presence or love or money, but by exhuming that grace, by knowing it and showing it, teaching to the people. You don't have to be a guru. All you have to do is that realize it yourself. You know the beauty of the grace and exhuming that grace, the moment you start to realize it, the fragrance and the light from you will be exhuming all around. People will get attracted to you, just like a lotus grows in a pond. The lotus pond, if you ever have witnessed, is in a dirty, murky soil on which the water is dirty. But the lotus cannot be touched with the dirt or the water. And the lotus exudes the fragrance, and honeybees and the wasps come from miles away, and the butterflies to sip the nectar, and they go away. Have that grace exhuming. People will all follow you. Not only the Christmas time, like everybody did all around the world, the largest religion of the world is Christianity. Being a Vedantist today we respect all religion and ask you to open your mind and follow whichever your heritage tells you, whichever your heart guides you, but learn and understand the essence of all teaching. They are not separate, they are not different. We have been given with this powerful mind. In addition to that memory has got the power to remember anything. But you know what we are doing? We're utilizing it in the negative sense by remembering all the worst things which has happened in the past and living that. Suffering what happened 1 year ago, what happened when I was a child, what happened 10 years ago, I'm still suffering from that pain. Second is the powerful imagination. That's the future. You can imagine anything. Imagine. Just imagine. It's not a metaphor of words. Isaac Newton saw an apple fall. Millions had seen that apple fall. Wright brothers saw and imagined in their vision flying. Even Wright brothers' own father in 1902, in 15th of November in London, Wright brothers' father said, when he inaugurated a science exhibition, the journalist asked him, "Sir, would you tell us your two sons have got two stalls here and they're saying they're going to fly. What is your opinion?" Bishop Wright smiled and he said, "My sons do not realize that if God wanted us to fly, God would have given us wings and feathers." You know, this statement is written in London Museum. But 2nd December, exactly 18 days after that day, the Wright brothers flew the first aircraft, 1902, 2nd December. Ferdinand Magellan, 1652. He discovered, he saw it, he visualized it, and he proved it that the earth is round. You know what they did to him? That same London, he was killed by stone throwing mobs by saying he's teaching us wrong thing. But if you go ahead and believe in that vision of yours, which is imagination, the power, infinite is your future. Now, left is the present, past is the memory, future is the imagination, sky is the limit. All other, the worms, the butterflies, the grasshoppers, the frog, the crocodile, the tigers, or the plants, they have to live within that bottom line and the top line, are limited by the two line. Human beings has no top line. You can choose and work towards it, sure. You have to believe in your potential. You have to fulfill it by just being that. Now, how do you do that? It's the presence. Presence is the experience of what? How do I experience the world today? The definition of experience as per Vedanta is an object, a book, and consciousness. If I'm unconscious right now, I cannot hear you, I cannot talk to you, I cannot experience, do anything. If I'm in coma, the whole world is like dead to me. The experience is the senses. 5 senses. The whole world is brought to me with the 5 senses, and through the body and the 5 instruments of the senses, they are fed to the brain, and brain sends it to the mind, and mind, brain, and those senses are fed by the power of the consciousness. I have to be conscious, and then only I can power my mind, power my brain, and power my senses. This consciousness, as per Vedanta, Taittiriya Upanishad, is Ishvara, is God, is Jesus, is the God message, and call him by any name. After all, you can call Jal, Jal, Pani, or Tani, or you in French, washer in German, water in English. Everything is one consciousness. Vedanta says you are that consciousness. You and I have that consciousness. We are alive. We're enjoying this world. Now, how do you do it? Imagine a fantastic world into your meditative time, and during the whole time, not just during meditation, whole time, visualize it. Look at it. Isaac Newton did it. Those days I do not think they knew about meditation. Ancient India knew for thousands of years. Or let's say Ferdinand Magellan discovered, Galileo discovered. How did they do it? You know, there is one very famous Nobel laureate, Isidore Rabi, a physicist. He was asked by the journalist when he got the Nobel Prize, how did you get the Nobel Prize? Why didn't you become like the other Jewish immigrant, a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer? He said, it's my mom. My mother, whenever we would come back from a school, every other Jewish mother will ask their children, what did you learn in the school today? But not my mother. My mother used to ask me, did you ask a good question today? Learning to ask good question. And this is written down in the book by Michael Scullman called Passionate Mind. Creating passionate minded children. Come, utilize that consciousness, visualize it. Automatically you will find the supreme grace which is always there. Fact that you and I can walk on a round planet without losing balance. It is not possible. And do you know why? The moment we get old, the moment we have a loss of memory, have you noticed older people tend to lose balance and fall down? Not only in the washroom, but normal, because they lose the sense of balance. This losing sense of balance is because of loss of memory. If your memory is strong, and whichever way it is, start looking at the future and imagine. Work towards it. Knowing, plant that seed in the meditation. Imagine, as per Mandakya Upanishad, this is Mandakya Upanishad, is telling us that this whole universe, all living creatures, especially you and I, have got four existence which you are living every day. Number one is waking. Right now, I hope I'm not putting you to sleep. Second is dream sleep. And third is the deep sleep. And the fourth is Turiya or consciousness. That is who we are. And Mandakya tells us you are experiencing the waking, dreaming, deep sleep, but you are experiencing because of the consciousness. And the consciousness is who you are. And this is what it means by the Vedanta teaching us, who am I? You know the beauty part? The moment you planted the seed in your consciousness, imagine you are not the waking body, you are not the dreaming or sleeping body, you are not in the deep sleep. Deep sleep, you have no memory, no thoughts. But you know you had a deep sleep. When you wake up, you say, I had a wonderful sleep. So you know. But these three are not you. You are not the body, not the name, not the mind, not the form. You are that consciousness. In that consciousness, plant the seed of your vision, of your prayer, of what you wish to create, do, attain, whatever. And watch it grow. Just like you plant a seed. Do you teach an apple seed how to produce apple? No, we don't. We know it will. Same way, Vedanta tells you, if you plant your power of imagination in through the consciousness, it is going to happen. And look at everyone. How did Henry Ford, how did Wright brothers, how did Galileo, how did Marie Curie discover? Because they had the vision and they worked for it. Come on. Welcome 2024. Welcome Christmas time. I'm going to share with you just one line of the teachings of Jesus Christ. You know, he went all over that time to Galilee in the Sermon on the Mount. Only the first message. He took his disciples, he taught in Galilee, he went to Judah, but he went right up to the mountain and invited his closest disciple, about 12 of them, and he taught them his choicest of the teaching. The first of the teaching in the Sermon on the Mount, he goes ahead and tells you, blessed are those who are poor in soul. Blessed are those who are poor in spirit, for they shall be in heaven. Can you imagine? Blessed are the poor in spirit will be in heaven. That means you and I think poor will be poor. No, what Jesus meant is being humble. You and I need to be humble. Knowing the power of our consciousness, knowing the power of the human element, we can create anything in this universe. And then you will enjoy the heaven. Heaven means fulfillment of vision. In the modern science today, they're talking about motivation, power of thinking big. Thinking, plant the seed into the consciousness. Welcome 2024. And the future life. Live as long as you wish to. Live well, healthily, and I wish you peace and happiness.